Our next speaker is Dr. Ali bin Tamim, a noted poet, literary critic, and television personality from the United Arab Emirates. In September of 2008, he became Chief Executive Officer of KALIMA, an innovative cultural initiative whose mission is to translate more than 100 works of classic and contemporary titles from all over the world into Arabic. Dr. Tamim has spent the majority of his career in academia. He's been a professor at the Emirates University in Arabic Language and Literature Department. He's written about many writers, including one we all know, Naguib Mahfouz. And he did his studies at the University of Jordan. And Dr. Tamim is with us today to talk about the KALIMA Translation Initiative. Thank you.
شكرا على هذا التقديم الجميل. مساء الخير.
Thank you for this kind introduction. Good afternoon to you one and all, and I thank you for this privilege of participating in this seminar on multilingualism and linguistic diversity. This is an extremely important event. Some 7,000 languages, 50% of them are endangered. The aspects of culture and development, no question that language does not exclusively mean what we write and what we speak, but what in effect it means those communicative skills which are indispensable for understanding one another. In this intervention, I wish to underline the importance of the Abu Dhabi Authority for Culture and Heritage, and I shall try to introduce this institution by highlighting certain aspects in terms of culture, which the question of promoting culture and book writing and the revival of the indigenous and local cultures. The Abu Dhabi Authority for Culture and Heritage is the institution that is responsible for a host of performing arts, audio-visual arts, as well as writing and folklore and cultural activities in the United Arab Emirates. I do not wish to focus on the objectives and the vision of this authority, inasmuch as I would like to draw up an outline of its activities, because that would make a more vibrant and lively introduction of this authority. In terms of cultural diversity, our authority always pursues cooperation with international institutions and organizations in order to bring them for introducing their activities in the United Arab Emirates. For instance, we have a cooperation with the New York University in order to introduce the American culture, as well as we had a full week of events with the Francophonie, and this allowed us to introduce the Francophonie culture overall to our college students and in different contexts of their functions. The Abu Dhabi Authority also contributed in terms of cultural diversity in a range of activities. For instance, we introduced 300 pieces of human activities. Our authority tries to introduce a number of activities that relate to music. The Spanish, British musical cultures were introduced, including performances from India, Pakistan, France, Turkish, Chinese, Serbian, as well as music from Georgia. I'm highlighting all these points given their significance significance, because the question of culture and heritage cannot be received outside their proper context and in isolation from the communicative systems, because performing arts in general are tools that would preserve our languages and indeed our very existence and heritage. Also, there is great interest in our authority to introduce greater formative arts, and there is a cooperation between the Armenian and academic institutions as well. Regarding the revival of culture and world heritage, in fact, the United Arab Emirates state has, over the past 2 decades, underwent very fast transformation, and that caused for us in our authority a number of fears, especially given the culture of the older generations, which is suffering from a disconnect from modern generations. For instance, we initiated the overall fora for abstract and moral heritage. The importance of this initiative is to provide a cultural atlas that would outline and trace the folkloric traditions, the areas where verbal poetry is maintained, the differences between folkloric arts and other performing arts. Also, this tries to introduce a sort of encyclopedia for folklore that would include mysteries and mythologies that are about to become extinct. Also, this complex tries to revive the agreement to preserve the non-material heritage since 2003. This forum also introduced fashion festivals. In fact, folkloric fashion, and that would bring a revival of a number of languages and some Emirati words that are almost extinct, and this breakthrough brings us into insight into certain moments that would bring to life those words and terms that have been isolated from modern generation. Also, this initiative aims at to organize an international exposition for reviving the Bedouin culture in cooperation with the Smithsonian Institute. And our long-term objective is to establish a museum for folkloric arts that would be sustainable and to promote that culture so that we would maintain it and transfer it to succeeding generations.